Hello everybody, this is Kata, this is TSdL, Season 8, Finals. We have SpykeMH versus Zansin. Yeah, I think the only real difference from Spike's box from his last set is that he's put in TSdL instead of Elwin. Otherwise, it's still that 3 healer, 2 tank box. Has a Zansin in it. Archon 2, so to some extent this box does want to ban Hilda or Archon becomes dead weight pretty quickly. There's really only one chance for Archon to do something against Hilda. And that's pretty much only if you can put passive seal on her. Hey everybody. Whereas Zansin's playing a 1 tank box, just Hilda, and 2 healer. That tells you Zansin's a lot more willing to be playing the trade game. That sort of box is generally going to end up having more DPS than a box that has 2 healers and or 3 healers and 2 tanks. Nonetheless, Zansin feels comfortable taking it to a tank push game already. The other thing is, Hilda does make this Archon dead weight and ban pick. Archon, or Hilda, is also going to be effective against Helena. Without AoE to support Helena, it can be pretty difficult to get anything done against Hilda. Her team's just going to play in tank range. Helena can still potentially limit Pepsi's movement a bit. The AoEs, after she moves with Chiv, can disable Pepsi from hiding. So Pepsi can't quite just run around the map. And that's also where Zansin's bans are going. Taking out IBC, getting rid of the mobility on Spike's side, and then immediately targeting AoEs. Lucretia's also mass attack. Ham has a sword. All things that limit Pepsi and are means to get rid of his shield while dealing other forms of damage. And then the route Zansin goes down is to start removing the assassins. That was after Zansin picked up Hilda. And against Spike's 3 healer box, with Spike first picking a tank, Zansin's idea in ban pick is to pretty much just straight remove the DPS. I mean, and that's also what this Hilda pick secures, is that Archon's gonna be useless. TSdL's not so useless, but she does take time to kill Hilda, and Pepsi's an inevitable answer to that. Azusa can one-shot Hilda, but nothing else on Spike's side really can. TSdL gets removed, so that's the last threat to Hilda and Spike's box on Zansin, or to Hilda on Zansin's side. And that's for what Spike has been doing in ban pick. Fanning out Werner for his high kill range. Fans out IBC. And Oboro. Oboro's really good at busting turtles. Every pick on here makes Spike's soldier choice on Hilda tough, yeah. Lucretia's gonna be really effective towards that. I think it has a lot to do with box structure and how band pick went. With the sort of box Zansin has, he felt that Spike doesn't have a great answer to Pepsi here. And then if it can just go into a tank push game after that, no matter what, Zansin's only going to have one healer left over. And so Zansin can always get 3 DPS out of that. And the box is just chock full of all the best DPS in the game, really, so... Pepsi is Zansin's answer to Spike's composition. And with Sissy on both sides, it'll be easy to fuel Pepsi. There's Lucretia and Elwyn that both have Dispel potential, get rid of Hilda Guard, but in the era of Hilda's unique, Hilda can at least bring 2 guards. Still, does consume an action. Can make your life difficult in a trade game. Hilda kind of wants to run... yeah, I guess you have to run Cav troops here. But this is not a great map for Cav troops. It's pretty awkward. Yeah. You have to do it because otherwise Lucretia can one-shot you. Could also be Tiamat, but probably be able to tell that. Yeah, this is a unique. Still, avoiding the Lucretia free strike is the goal there. Supposing a class change gets dispelled. It's also worth mentioning with dominating formation that it's a 2-turn guard versus 3C being a 3-turn guard, so if you actually want to get a difference in... or you can't overwrite 3C with dominating formation even if 3C only has 1 turn up. Sissy on Spike's side does have mass attack. There is act again, potentially double act again. Since Spike only has 2 DPS to Zansin's 3, Spike can't exactly afford to trade. Getting player 2, then potentially a double act again play coming from that. Lucretia and Elwyn on Zansin's side also serve the role of being able to bust Hilda's anti-crit aura. And again, both the sissies ensure that this Pepsi will be able to reach max stacks even before units start dying otherwise. Zuko was mentioning how Sissy is a tank. I mean, against the right composition, she definitely does that duty. I mean, even against Spike's composition, the Sherry, for instance. Normally a stun play on Hilda could be on the table here, but Sissy Phalanx potentially, and Choke up a hit. Which would then... I guess it doesn't work against Azusa, but I mean... It does stop a potential Sherry stun Hilda, then run and go kill something else. And again, Spike can't afford to trade. So really, Elwyn just has to zone the Azusa's movement range. It's a lot easier to think about just that rather than having to zone all of Sherry's movement range too. It's also just a way to take some more space. Because Hilda just covers Elwyn next turn anyway. At any point, this Lancer... Well, not really at any point. With this sort of position, it could be a while for the Lancer to die. I mean... Nah. I do think Liana's a bit bulkier with Shrine Maidens against Pepsi. Although with 4-stack Pepsi, without crit, I'm fairly sure Liana tanks that no problem. But again, there's Elwyn and Lucretia. Change that. Or rather, disable Hilda's anti-crit aura. This does look like Twilight Star Lucretia. Which I have heard in some circumstances can kill Azusa. The main thing is Lucretia's 3C that's effective against holy units. That goes over to Sorks. Azusa's a double holy unit. Excuse me. One that disables Nime's mage damage tech when enemies have a debuff, and 2, the advantage for being effective against holy also goes to the troops. And troops still do... their damage is not impacted by Zeus's shield. So potentially the troops can be enough to just kill her. The hero still does like a little bit of damage. Sometimes anyway. I mean, it can depend on the build. Because like, if it's Overlord's badge, Azusa, that sort of crazy thing. I mean, it's not really that crazy. Fine choice for her, really. Long-term investment, just try and farm some buffs on Pepsi. Yeah, and the reason the Twilight Star is relevant is, of course, to break the 100% HP on the monks. That way they lose a 30% damage reduction. So Zansin just hasn't used 3C. Gets around. That way Dominating Formation just has one turn of downtime. On that one turn of downtime, last turn, everybody was in one range except Elwyn. And I mean, you could dive on Elwyn there with Sherry, but it just doesn't work for Spike. Spike can't afford to trade. At least if I saw that right. The 3C does get cast on Pepsi, which is an indicator that Zansin wants to go in. Like at this point, probably wants to respond with an act again. Even then, well, I mean, I guess it just has to be on Azusa, that way you can respond to a unit going in now. Because you don't want Sherry to be the first person to respond to this. You can potentially hit 2 people after that. But if only one person is in to begin with, then you waste that second action. Cherry takes the Lancer and runs away. Liana's out of range. Hilda has not moved yet. It does get dispelled here, but Spike has been saving 3C. Luke did not bring cleanse. If Hilda moves now, then anti-crit aura will come back up, but then Lucretia will move, take the first life off of Hilda, and the aura will be down again. And yeah, Pepsi chooses to take the second life of Hilda, or the first life. So then the question is, can Luke 3C kill? Single target heal on Sissy is probably enough to full heal this Hilda. Pepsi did bring another attack skill. Spike plays it safe. Oh well. The issue with this is that this gives over turn priority to Zansin. Probably. Sissy could like punch Elwyn there. Then potentially summon something to kill Elwyn. You just let Hilda take the hit. So the Pepsi shield is down. Yeah, that is wild. And just the shield proving why it's such a menace. I mean, Azusa can just dispel it. But still, at that point, Luke is in an inevitable win condition. Yeah, I don't think Zansin cared too much if Elwyn dies at that point. Like, keeping Pepsi's shield up is more annoying. The thing is, like, you have Sissy. Which just means that one is less valuable in endgame. Liana Act Again is up. I think it just stems back to this position where Elwyn's here. Sissy, this tile wasn't occupied. Sissy could have punched, or you could have acted against Sherry. And then Pepsi wouldn't have been able to move and get his shield back up. Instead, you'd be killing Pepsi on that action. Then you'd still have to get through this Hilda. And this Sissy was an act again on this Lucretia. Yeah, Sissy is a unit that can like break Azusa's shield with the summon. And punch her. I mean, I don't think she'll die to this infantry here, but yeah, it does get rid of her shield, which is that's pretty much enough. Probably the most awkward thing is it doesn't let her run right here. Which, if she had the shield, that's what gives her the +3 mobility, and then she would have been able to move here. And it's just, I mean, it's a bit nicer, but you're still dead to Lucretia. She does heal after, but Medusa, that is. Sherry does take Pepsi's life. But sooner or later she's dead to loot. Now being down 1 unit, that means Zansin can just immediately burn Hilda's action next turn. Which leads into Lucretia. Well, you have to move Sherry first. But Sissy Dismiss just solves this pretty much. Because it forces Liana to move. And Liana can't really full heal herself, so then Lucretia just has an easy one-shot. Yeah, Spike calls it. No changes on either side. Same bands as last game. Misses the most OP skill for a healer. Same map bug, you know, I swear, dude. There is something wrong with their code on selecting a random map. I definitely think that. This happens with too much in best of threes to be a coincidence. This time Spike recognizes that in a tank push game, just the route, the order that Zansin's going, getting a strong Pepsi, and having a tank after that, Spike did not like to see that. Now forcing Zansin into at least not having a magic tank and sticking with the Azusa. Sissy is still potentially a physical tank, which is relevant against a couple units in Spike's box. The Sherry, the Helena, which is exactly what Zansin has left up. Which Spike recognizes and bans the Sissy, allowing Helena to be... You can take her pick mostly. Might not be able to kill a Boro. It depends on what what class that a Boro is. If it's a Lancer, then of course there's no way Helena's ever gonna kill. Boro is also a timer for Spike. This time Spike's straight picking the DPS, not dealing with getting a tank, or not dealing with picking a healer early. Still picking a tank early. But again, we'll end up in that situation where Zansin has 4 DPS, potentially even 5, against the 3 of Spike. So it'll be up to Spike to keep his units in tank range, not trade, and score. Maybe not necessarily not trade, but score favorable trades for his side. 2-for-1s and the like. If Oboro's a Lancer, then this gets bad for Spike. And yeah, because I was going down, then you can't kill a Bobo with Helena if he's a Lancer. But then that would be bad if Spike had Infantry Werner. But Kong does have pretty much the best counterpoint, which is, yeah, if Werner's going in to kill the Saboro, then Zansin's pretty happy with that. But Spike does have an act again. Kira can struggle to kill Werner. There is Gospel for 1 unit on Spike's side. Herder probably doesn't need an attack buff too bad to kill several of these units. But Pepsi, the endgame menace, is going to be just really difficult for this mostly single target team to deal with, I think. Yeah, Kira is also an answer to Helena potentially walking in and dealing a bunch of AoE damage and then preventing follow-up. Helena can zone Pepsi at least a little bit. Helena kill Elwyn and then just keep putting Burner in defense stance. I mean, you gotta put Burner in an offense stance sometime. I guess. It is Lancer Bora. Then, like, Pepsi can kill Werner. Looks like Overlord's badge, maybe. Hard to say for sure. Kira can struggle, especially if there's anti-crit up. And it's holy, so has a bit lower output in exchange for having more crit. So what Spike wants to accomplish the most is killing Pepsi first, but the problem is it's just never gonna happen. Pepsi's just gonna hang back. There's units to just wall. There's an Elwyn to force Spike to push up in tank range. Does have to watch out for this Helena though. That's where she reaches already. Probably see Owen go like somewhere around here. Or yeah, down there. Yeah, and then she'd get locked there. So Ellen just staying one block out of Helena's range. Helena, of course, can kill Ellen with the after battle AoE. Pepsi has a turn of uptime here. Sherry didn't have a buff. Sherry could certainly just double kill Helena after that. Or double punch, hit Helena once and then hit her again. Kira just pokes here. Just to get rid of the... Yeah, the issue is Liana doesn't reach. Well, I mean, it forces Liana's action next turn. But then Azusa can just die to the Kira, hitting again after that because the shield's down. Which means Azusa needed to zone the Kira. And there is nowhere for Azusa to hide. Also potential for Kira to crit. Base could have been created with Helena and Werner. Trading one of Kira's guard ignores for a Leon action could go well. Owen Breeze ensures he always has an angle. And still, at this point, Kira is down for 2 turns. Yeah, 2 turns. And Werner really should be in strike stance, so he can just take Kira's life here. With 6% damage, I think Werner could tank this. It shouldn't really be an issue with heavies. The Epsilon, on the other hand, provided there's Hilda anti-crit, there is a chance. Two turns until the Saboro's online. And sadly, no breeze on the Werner. Burns down the 1 turn of... Or Zansin has the potential to just disengage here, wait for this fixed damage buff to expire, then go in. Hilda was given Gospel here, prevent the stun on tank. I'm sure nobody wants to run low on timer. Sometimes you just run out of timer, you know? Yep, that's pretty much what Zansin goes for. Just wait out the Werner, fixed damage buff. That is enough to overpower Glory of the World on Sherry, and then Double Strike could potentially kill her. Plenty of turns to get something done later, and Zansin already doesn't mind waiting for Oboro to come up. Helena could kill Elwyn here. But it's a bait. The issue is Helena dies there. Cherry just kills her right after. Then Spike only has 1 DPS left. And Oboro trades for that, and Oboro plus Pepsi could just trade for that in endgame. Zansin's showing some of the weaknesses of picking a tank first, and having this box with less good trade units in it. Especially now, and even if you look at the box Zansin's running, there are so many ways to ignore tanks in it. I.e. so many assassins. So with the fixed damage, Helena does have a good chance of being able to kill Oboro here. And it does damage Pepsi a little bit, and put 1 turn of downtime on Pepsi's shield. But then the issue is that Werner is slow and does not have follow-up. And Werner did have to move out of this at some point, because well, I mean, Werner without a buff, 4-stack Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi has hide now. So it's a matter of, does Pepsi break through anti-crit? Or does Pepsi need to crit to kill its Werner? Good chance he doesn't. Well, it doesn't even matter because Zansin just sends in Elwyn and Sherry. They break anti-crit aura. Which is what Spike recognizes, so he has to move Hilda last, but then Ellen moves right here, right? And then Hilda can't move. Well, doesn't go for it. Oh, did Hilda have a tenure or something? No, she just moved normally. Emotes are 80% of a high-level Lang match. Yeah, I think some people have those sorts of standards. The issue is the act again. One unit goes in here. Well, Cherry has the stun. No, the act again doesn't matter. Yeah, Hilda puts up her anti-crit aura. Then Sherry can just Shadow Raid and then bounce off and back off. And goes for the stun anyway. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't make much of a difference. Oh, this play prevents... Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh no, you could act again, Hilda, and then that would have been your last action, and it would have immediately gone after that. Yeah, SpykeMH. Oh no, yeah, acting again, Hilda doesn't matter. Just over-analyzing. This Pepsi's the next action, and then Hilda would burn the stun off afterwards. Supposing you acted again, Hilda. Well, oh, you can't act again, Hilda. You'd have to act again, Werner, and then Werner just dies. Right. Is a best of 5. Procedure for that is Spike leaves game 1, and they change their boxes. Well, you don't... I mean, ideally you don't change your box at all, but you do the box swap phase here. And we have everybody's favorite map, Floating Courtyard. Well, Turtles definitely like this map more. A lot easier to block out units due to the pillars. Endgame can be a scrap fest for the middle. Potential to block your opponent in. Although with the aggressive box for Zansin, it's pretty difficult to do that. Probably Zansin's gonna jump on your face before then. There are body blocking shenanigans if man pick does go a certain way. There are a lot of grounded units in this box. Bobo easier to protect here? Yeah, for sure. Zansin bringing out Ares on Sky Map, which I like. Ares pulls can be vicious on this map, and Spike makes some other adjustments. Takes out Nurash, who I think will do Spike some favors. Indicates that Spike doesn't want to go down the ban pick route of banning Hilda this time. Play something else. Kira to also be Kira and Autocrado are the replacements here. Autocrado is pretty good on this map. You can very easily force your opponent to bunch up. And Zansin's response to that is pick up the Rosin Seal first, which just nullifies one of the picks Spike is brought in a different way than, say, just picking up Hilda against Nurash. Yeah, auto on this map is very brutal. Rosin is some sign of respect to that and some sign of showing the weakness of auto in this sort of box. With a more AoE leading box that maybe some more debuff that really wants to ban Rosin, then you'll get a lot of good value out of just banning Rosin first anyway. And then auto's automatically on the field. But this really shuts down a lot of auto's potential. And you just know that until there's nothing else more threatening, and he's pretty much the lowest on the threat list here, this auto will not get banned. Could just not even get banned in general. Like, banning out healers could be a higher priority than him against Rosin. Anyway, Spike sticking with the first ban burner. Still going with the ban Hilda route, just. So recognizing that Obobo is a big problem. And banning out Ham, I think that's mostly just because he's a flyer. I mean, it's not mostly just because he's a flyer, he's also one of the best units, but that makes him a higher priority to ban on this map. We did see the Azusa's stats, which were around like 10,500 HP, and her shield doesn't do anything for magic. Or, her shield doesn't do anything for AoE. So yeah, that does seem a range where Ares could kill. As for what Zansin's banned, bans IBC first, doesn't want to give any mobility or an attack buff to Spike's side. Bans out Ham, banning out long range single target. Blue is also banning out attack buffs for Spike, making it difficult again for this ban pick. And maybe Liana or Sissy give you an attack buff here. If you pick a DPS like Werner, then you probably lose both your attack buffs. And yeah, Werner definitely gets banned here, but then Sissy is probably a next ban. And you just have Liana. And banning out Kira and Rosin. Gives up Sissy, so Spike can get an attack buff. Yeah, auto is an interesting pick here. It's gonna be hoping for the swap plays. Like bans out IBC. Definitely doesn't want to give Zansin a lot of mobility or a free attack weapon at this point. There is mass attack for Spike's side. Auto Aura save Hilda from a Zeus. Auto Aura saves Hilda from a Zeus one shot? Yeah. And then there's Sherry on Spike's side over here. But Sissy's gonna make Sherry a lot less effective. Sissy can't just jump in, or Azusa, no, Sherry. Sherry can't just jump in and get a double kill. And it's actually gonna be generally impossible for her to do that, because Ares can pretty easily dictate when he engages on Spike's team. I mean, Rosin can just be a literal body blocker on this map against Sherry. And then so can Sissy. But with Auto not being a great DPS here, again, Spike's in the position where he can't really play the trade game. It's gotta be push up with Hilda. But this area is very concerning for the Azusa. There is the Auto Aura against Ares AoE potentially as well. It could save Azusa's life. Ares' crit rate is also not infallible. I mean, if Ares like crits the first hit, I'm imagining Azusa is just always gonna die. But maybe not. Cert for some buff steal. And a little bit of single target damage. Mass attack on Sissy indeed, and yep, AoE Ares. Miracle as well. Dismiss on Zansin Sissy. And if this is a unique Ares, a single target will hit really hard too with Rosin Steel. Azusa straight off the bat probably wants to just take as much space as possible. You move like, well, I mean, do you really want to move into the Ares? At the same time, you have to try and zone him. So you do need to stay where Ares will be an auto aura. That's the only way you're gonna live. So this sort of position. He's like right here, Ares would have to be in auto aura range. Actually, right here. And then she would be preventing Ares from just like sitting his ass right here. Although Sherry could do that too, I think. It could maybe depend on the Sherry, but Yeah, okay. Yeah, because if Sherry can one-shot, that's a pretty good deal. Would just be mass attack. Ares would get a buff. Yeah, I don't know about that. Oh yeah, of course, you just block Ares from being able to get hit with the... It's still guarding. Even if it ignores guard. Well, I guess if it's not necessarily... I mean, Sherry can kill it and then try her hand at killing a Ares. She will probably die to the Azusa afterwards. Although this might not be Overlord or Twilight Star. Probably won't die to a one-stack Pepsi. So does Zansin put up Miracle? Or Faction buff? Probably Faction buff. Having Miracle for later is good. But no, really expecting Ares to get dived on, and I think Miracle will be better than Faction buff there. There's no tile for Azusa to get hit. Cherry's not gonna die. It's possible for Sissy to die. And there is only one turn of this Miracle for Ares. Next turn, 3C will burn it off. Dominating formation tiles don't really do anything here. It's just to have another guard. Could have gone route. Well, no, I mean, there's a rod, not gonna do anything. Fair enough. No way to stop this Pepsi from hiding. Just not quite in range of anything. Yeah, because Otto can't even, like, pop 3C. Didn't hit him. I'm gonna afford it to keep some space. Even this is like a bait, right? You don't actually want to go in with Sherry and kill this Azusa. Ideally you want Sherry to come in and get a double kill. And you want this trade game to happen at a point where you can kill Epsilon. Then it's 2 turns until Sissy can summon another guard. So you don't want to go in here. If Zansin goes in on you, it's better. This is in a safe spot. Could really use a breeze. And Sherry could try her hand at that. Can't stun Azusa either, so that's off the table. Can't act again. That gives her a return priority. Zansin doesn't have to respond with an act again of his own. And now Zansin can act again here, if he wants. Azusa will have to hit an auto aura. Doesn't have an attack buff. Does have 1 turn of a damage buff. Well, I mean, I guess she'd get it if she got acted again for sure, obviously. There's no real reason to use act again here. There's also no AoE healing. Two square auto aura isn't that bad. Yeah, but I mean it's 3. Oh wait, yeah, no, she can hit out of it. She can hit from here. Ares scores kill and Sherry. Double crit. I'm guessing. And it might not even be. It depends on whether or not Spike's Sherry's last rites. Don't really have any way of knowing that. Ares can't retreat after that, but Azusa goes in. Kills Ares, and then there's Pepsi. Pepsi can just attack twice. Yeah, Judge Ares versus 2 squishy Holy on SpykeMH, and even Sissy's Holy. But anyway, supposing it goes down that line further, it's Azusa goes in, kills Ares, and then eventually Pepsi can double hit Azusa and kill her. Although, yeah, I don't know. Like, I could have still played it out, but calls it. Okay, so yeah, that is the finals. I do actually still have games to review, but I've had a long day. I'll do them tomorrow for real. We will tally up all the donations and we will see how much we got. I think it's somewhere around $200 should be, but don't quote me on that. It was just last time I looked at it. So yeah, we'll tally it up, tier all the rewards, and we do also have some donations from this season already to next season, which is very nice of everybody that decided to do that. So yeah, thank you guys all for joining me on my streams. Thank you guys for participating in TSdL. Thank you guys for donating. Thanks to all the streamers who helped out. Yeah, and just thank everybody for making this possible. See you guys next season.